Alberta Wheat and Alberta Barley decided to go to an integrated management team. So one management team or staff essentially for both organizations, for both boards.
We looked at it as a potential way to save some administration costs, and as directors, that's what we're responsible for, is making sure we're investing that money wisely and efficiently.
We were, up until that time, sharing office space, sharing some administrative resources. We decided to take it to the next level by piloting a project to fully integrate our management teams. Over the course of the 4-month pilot, we discovered that this was working well. So in the end of January of 2018, the boards of both commissions, Alberta Wheat and Alberta Barley, approved us to moving to a formal integration. Everyone in the office took their new roles in June of 2018 under the combined management structure.
The staff was very much behind it. They all kind of rallied behind the idea, and that certainly made the transition easier. The good thing is that we have two very like-minded boards and already work quite closely together on a lot of different issues.
By working in teams, it does create synergies. It creates the ability to do more things.
Our boards were very supportive of it. Our farmer stakeholders were supportive. Anytime that we can generate more for less, that frees up more money to go back into other things like research or market development.
Research continues to be the most significant portfolio and investment for both Alberta Wheat Barley and Alberta Wheat Commission. The Alberta Barley Commission added 2 new projects this year, and they did that through the Agriculture Funding Consortium process. We expect those projects to help reduce the susceptibility of barley to lodging and to also provide some new information on plant growth regulator use. The Alberta Wheat Commission added 13 new projects this year, and we did that through the Agriculture Funding Consortium and through the Ag Development Fund, which is a process in Saskatchewan. We have brought our total portfolio up to over 50 active projects. We recently added an agronomy research extension specialist to the team at both commissions, and we are really excited about that role, and we hope that it provides a lot of value to our producers and really helps us to extend research results to them. So 2017-2018 was a big year for both commissions. We just wrapped up the National Wheat Cluster as well as the Barley Cluster. Those were both part of the Growing Forward 2 federal funding program. We learned a lot, both genetically and agronomically, and we're really looking forward to sharing those learnings with producers.
Bill C-49 was passed by the federal government in May 2018. Over the last year, the Alberta Wheat and Barley Commissions had meetings with senators and members of parliament advocating for Bill C-49 to be passed with amendments that would help alleviate the transportation issues faced by farmers. Thanks to the Ag Transportation Coalition, a project that the commissions have been supportive of for monitoring rail transportation of grain, we saw early warnings of problems with the rail transportation back in fall 2017. Alberta Wheat Commission Director Warren Sekulich appeared in front of committees for both the Senate and the House of Commons, specifically explaining how the transportation issues of 2017 were impacting farm families in Alberta. Thanks to the work of the commissions, the government recognized the concerns of farmers by adding several of the requested amendments to the final bill. Each year, the Alberta Wheat Commission works with the Canadian value chain to develop and grow our international export markets. All these groups come together to promote Canadian grains in over 20 different countries on 5 different continents around the world. Throughout the past year, the Alberta Barley Commission has met with delegations from both China and Japan to promote the sale of Canadian barley, both feed and malt. The commissions are working with the value chain to better understand important markets, looking at markets with further potential, and to better understand the markets of competitors.
Team Alberta is a collaboration between Alberta Canola, Alberta Barley, Alberta Pulse Growers, and the Alberta Wheat Commission. And so we've come together to work on policy-related issues and government relations at both the provincial and the national level. 2019 will see an election at both the federal and the provincial level. Team Alberta will be engaging in a number of government relations initiatives in order to maintain our existing relationships with the government and build relationships with other third-party candidates in order to be sure that the concerns of farmers are known. Team Alberta is willing to work with any government that will help to reduce regulatory and other barriers, ensuring that Alberta crop farmers are profitable, competitive, and have access to markets. In April 2017, key stakeholders across the entire barley value chain came together to discuss the future of the barley sector in Canada. The participants endorsed all elements of the Getting to Growth market development strategy. It was also recommended that we put together a small working group that would look at alternative models of organization as well as the associated funding mechanisms. The working group met last in early October, and now they will be working to develop final recommendations to bring forth to the broader group in the early new year.
The Prairie Cereal Summit is a two-day event that's coming up this December in Banff. So not only is this a really great learning opportunity for farmers and industry professionals, but it's also really fun. So there's a really great speaker lineup planned along with networking opportunities and family events like ice skating and a scavenger hunt. This was always an Alberta Barley event, but now with the commissions working closer together than ever before, it just made sense to hold this event together. To learn more about the Prairie Cereal Summit, go to albertabarley.com. So Life's Simple Ingredient is a consumer marketing campaign that the Alberta Wheat Commission launched in the spring of 2017. And really what we're trying to do with this campaign is brand Canadian wheat with the ultimate goal of increasing consumption. We launched Life's Simple Ingredient as a pilot project to prove that something like this could work in the Alberta market. And now that the campaign has been running for just over a year and a half, we're now formally working with Cereals Canada as the official secretariat with the goal to develop partnerships across the wheat value chain and ultimately build a national presence.
At Grains West, it's important for us to tell stories about how producer dollars are being invested into the industry. We've diversified our traditional content for more of a focus on research, market development, and other stories that have a direct impact on Alberta farmers. We've taken on some new custom publishing contracts this year that will help drive revenue to the magazine and help diversify the offerings that we have from our magazine staff. Grains West has a new easy-to-navigate website as well as an e-newsletter program. You can find it at grainswest.com.
Both Alberta Wheat and Alberta Barley offer some core funding for extension through the ARAs. Also, we undertake some of our own activities in conjunction with other commissions, such as Making the Grade or Hedging Edge. Both Alberta Wheat and Alberta Barley will fund advanced agronomy demos this year to bring research information to local farmers so that they can take that home and hopefully turn that into profits at the farm gate. Previously, Alberta Wheat has funded some local regional varietal trials in the northern part of the province where growers have wanted to see how varieties perform in their area. In response to a resolution in 2017 in Westlock, we've expanded that program and brought in some regional varietal trials for that Westlock area in cooperation with GROW, Gateway Research Organization.
In 2014, Alberta Barley and Alberta Wheat Commission recognized the need of a transition from a third-party service provider to an in-house checkoff database. This transition has created significant cost savings for both commission, as well as proven to be a more efficient system in-house to handle the data integrity for both producers and the dealers. In 2018, the commissions were approached by a number of provincial farm organizations and national organizations who were looking to implement similar in-house efficiencies. The commissions have entered into a 5-year relicensing database agreement with these organizations. It will save money for them, as well as they will be able to leverage the efficiencies that were developed by the Alberta Barley and Alberta Wheat Commissions. We are proud to say that the checkoff in-house system, led by Alberta Barley and Alberta Wheat Commission, has now led to greater efficiencies to farmers in Western Canada. 2018 marks the final year of Alberta Barley Commission administering the 5-year transition program known as the Western Canadian Deduction. I am pleased to say that Alberta Barley diligently managed the cash flow of Prairie's checkoffs for almost $64 million for 5 years and successfully delivered the program in less than 5% administration fee. As a result, we returned over $500,000 to the recipients: Western Grains Research Foundation, Canadian International Grains Institute, and Canadian Malting Barley Technical Centre. We were honored to be part of such a vital program that ultimately helps the Western Canadian farmers do what they do best: Because of our sound financial policies and value demonstrated to stakeholders through core programming areas, refund rates for both commissions continues to consistently remain between 4 and 6%. I'm incredibly proud of what we have done in past years and strongly believe that the Commission's best days are yet to come.